Have you ever fantasized about changing your Linux hostname? Well, you came to the right channel. I'll show you step-by-step procedure on how you can modify your existing hostname. The first thing you have to do is to log in as super user, saying sudo space su and hit enter. Generally, they'll ask you for a password and then you'll be logged in as a root or a super user. Now, let's examine what is our existing hostname by simply typing host name and hit enter. You can see my hostname is called Scooby, which is also apparent in my prompt here. Now, this hostname works in every other older system, so this is pretty safe. But if you have a newer Linux box, you can simply say hostname ctl and hit enter. It'll give you a full description of your machine, and you can also find the hostname right here. Now to edit your hostname. The first thing you're gonna have to do is to edit your local DNS resolver, which resides in a directory called etc. You can actually examine where the file is by doing ls-al, and the directory location where you can find your DNS resolver file is etc/host with a s and hit enter. You can see that the file exists in here. Now you can modify this file using a simple nano or a text editor. If you like Vi or Vim, you can use that, followed by the location and the file name and hit enter. The one that you're gonna have to modify would be this guy here that starts with 127.0.1.1. Now let's say if you want to change from Scooby to say Vader. And once you're done, you can see you can press Ctrl X to exit, Ctrl X. Over here, you're gonna say yes to modify and then hit enter for the same file name. And after that, your modification for your local DNS resolver is complete. Now to permanently change your Ubuntu system hostname, again, you're gonna type hostname ctl space. You're going to say set-hostname, change it to whatever hostname that you have set. Mine was Vader, and hit enter, and it will come to something like that. Now, all the changes are finished. Now, if you enter hostname and press enter, you can see that the new hostname is visible. Likewise, if you enter hostname ctl, the system is registering the new hostname. At this point, you can say that your hostname changes are complete, but it is highly recommended to reboot your Linux box. Reason being that some services and applications cache hostname until it is rebooted. Also, network managers, DHCP, and DNS resolver may retain old hostname until it is restarted. And same thing applies to security policy like Kerberos SSH host key or SSL certificate. Rebooting ensures all services use the same updated hostname consistently. Now I can sit down here and lobby for reboot of your Linux box until I turn blue. But if reboot is not an option for you, you can also manually restart critical services instead of rebooting your Linux machine using the systemctl command.